And report breaches of ethical behavior by colleagues. This is from Iowa State, which we also have it in Homenetmen. So report breaches of conduct, behavioral discrepancies. As a coach, you're a coach 24/7. You are the mirror of that kid. That's what the kid sees. You will share things with that kid that they will not share with their parents. You've all have had that opportunity. You always have had that the dilemma in order to balance. But you are the coach. You chose to be a coach, so you are a role model in that sense. Basically, in Homenetmen, how I perceive Homenetmen, within the organization, whether it's sports or whether it's scouting activities, it is only a bridge. It's a bridge, kamurch, in order for us to be able to educate our youth. It's not the end result. It's not the goal, it's not the objective in order to have people be sent to MBA. Since I remember in the United States that I've been here since 1982, we have not had anybody going from Homenetmen into MBA or MLS or any other leagues. Or we have leagues. But don't be hard on yourself, because that is not our goal. If it happens as a byproduct, so be it. But Homenetmen is only a bridge in order to be able to educate our children, to teach the youth the moral and physical and mental education, and instill the richness of Armenian culture and heritage, while preparing them to become outstanding law-abiding citizens. That's our goal. That's in our bylaws. That's what has been going on for 93 years. If you are here for anything else, if you're here to educate a youth to become a phenomenal basketball player, to go and rub elbows with Kobe, this is not the organization. Why? Because we don't have the resources. For that kind of thing, for that kind of goal, there are organizations that they pay mucho money. They're structured differently. Homenetmen, and we'll talk about how Homenetmen came about. It's basically a bridge. In scouting, I always argue, we are not teaching the scouts to become beautiful scouts, to become, they know how to use knives and lashes and what have you. That's only a mijotz. That's only a tool. Scouting or athletics, it's a tool for us to be able to instill richness of Armenian heritage. That's what it is. Now, we have some problems, we have some issues that we will talk about it today. And some of this, it's a taboo. I'm going to basically push some buttons because as a coach, whether you are a decision maker or not, you are part of this organization that can make a difference. Why? Because when I'm looking in this hall, if some of you or most of you deal with 20 kids, today here we touch the lives of about 1,000 kids. Here in this hall, we touch the hearts of 1,000 kids through athletics, through basketball, through soccer, through tennis, through track and field. So, as a combined union of fantastic, dedicated coaches, we have some behavioral conduct and challenges. So, the challenges are, and I've listed some of it, you might even shout out other challenges that we might have. Rivalry. Rivalry can be good if the kid and the coach understands exactly why the rivalry is all about. Rivalry can have a negative effect if they do not understand the sense of sportsmanship, the sense of that we are 2 sister chapters or we are 4 sister chapters. We're all under the same roof. We're the children of the same family, and we're playing soccer. So if I lose or if I win, I do not have to start cussing your mama. Or I don't have to cuss your Lana Seva Masnajugi. Do. Because that's what happens. Competitions. Some of our behavioral conduct challenges comes from competition. And that comes from that we do not have short or long-term planning. All of a sudden we receive a letter. You have to play next week. And we get together a bunch of kids. And I've been in Homenetmen family long enough to understand how it happens. Years ago, Pasadena had a championship game in San Francisco, and they realized they're going to lose to one of the chapters. So 2 days before, they registered a non-Armenian, but Armenian-looking guy. Big nose, hairy chest, that was playing in an Arab league. They flew him out to San Francisco in order to win the game. Եվ ժողովից հետո լանասիգա հայ է լան, ուրա հայ, ասոր մեծ պաբան, ջդեյդե, այսինչին կովը, չեմ կիդեր, պանգներ, լահմեջուն գշիներ, ուր է կավադոր հայը? So that comes from the competitions, that we get so much entangled in the competition part of it, that we forget what is the core value. Communication. Communication is key. Some of us are born here, some of us come from different countries, and sometimes during the competition, during the communication, the other party doesn't understand. I was in Ara chapter 6 months ago. In the new gym, they were playing soccer, and the coach had just arrived from Iran. Phenomenal coach. So I'm standing there, and for some of you understand Persian, Yerechin Asumavur, Baba, top shiti, nufuzara, nufuzara. The word nufuz is like, you gotta go through. Yes, sticker naim over. Inchane, nufuzara. Word nufuzanem. Kam, miuskome, make tiny rush banagum in Kanatse, tiny, urama Vrana bidi khapeng Fresno, Paskahai, Iranahai, Vrana, Vananu, Mekat, Kuetse, Gavasov, Yechpararmi, as Chivana bidi Kagem. So Petganunes and the Petganere. Vranere bidi Lareng. Hagalikan Larum, Vranchen Larum. Galisin Nakajashi, Teyuzumek, I'll think. Incher Havesman have get bidiazes. So the communication, the not understanding the slangs, not understanding the words during competition creates a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So that's part of the behavioral or conduct challenges, because we miscommunicate or we think they're talking about my mama. So that's a no-no. Prior experience. If you had a bad experience previously, 10 years ago, that lingers with you and you pass it on to your kids. As aradi ad yergara pana adiga zarnok chartog adur maile bit tagen gaysur. Bestik naim asum over but you chem jalanchum esmat. Tin cheskider. Asig pammene yani. What is it? It's the prior experience that we pass it on to the kid. And we don't understand the true impact that that kid gets. Forge dissections. I don't understand why we dissect each other. Years ago, they used to say, they still to the extent they say, Barskahai Homenetmen agannerin anon. Miusa eti Hayastansi Homenetmen agana. Our kids don't have that problem anymore. We used to talk about esi Tehranitsa, esi Burchamuditsa, esi Damaskotitsa, esi Yeravzagamtsia, esi Buenos Airesitsa. Merecheka chunen etbana. They're all friends with each other. They go to school with each other. They learn each other's dialects, whether it's Western Armenian or Eastern Armenian. But we dissect each other. And we create these abnormal differences, the boundaries. And we do not understand, we don't see how the kids perceive this, how do kids see this. And it Rivalry competition is beautiful, but when it has a negative connotation to it, the kids are sponges. They take it differently. And that's one of our behavioral problems. Rules and regulations. Rules are meant to be broken. And we all, as coaches, have once or twice or 3 times we have tried to bend the rules. Whether it's transferring athletes from a chapter to a chapter, whether disciplining that athlete, whether going over your executive chapter to the Western region chapter. We've all had it. And it's beautiful. I don't see a problem in that. Rules are meant to be broken. If it's for the good cause, that the kid will benefit from it, not in a malicious way. Misinterpretation. Again, we do not ask enough questions, so we misjudge each other. We have this perception, one of the problems. Language barriers, we already talked about it. And especially these days, because of the environment we live, all our coaching and even all our lectures in scouting is done in Armenglish. It's not Armenian and it's not English. Armenglish. Hala 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 mahad arek. Make a one line, make a one line, make a yerkenk. Come on guys, chuplika, chuplika, chuplika. Come on guys, come on. Yep. This is how it is. I don't have an issue with it. As long as they understand that we have to balance between the 2 languages. That's what it creates a conduct challenge. And the different methodologies. Some chapters have training sessions for their coaches, for their leaders. Some chapters have systematic training for executives, and some don't. The last minute, get everybody together. Yalla, jerzin haknik, bidi kharank. We know how it happens. That's how it is. Last 10 years that we have the computer system, we're able to filter now. You got to pay your dues, you got to do this, you got to do that. But before that, God knows what was happening. And some of us that have been in the organization side of it, sometimes we just close an eye because the games have to go on. We have to put a show. But that putting up a show is for internal consumption. The putting up a show, it's for the external consumption, for people to see Navasaryan, Fanfar, Jogovurt, Troshak, Yevyalin. What about the internal consumption? What do we truly train our kids about this internal? It's enough that we have preached the outside world, but it's time for us to also do some cleanup in our own kitchen. That's where we have to understand exactly what the perpetrators about behavioral and conduct challenges. Later on today, you'll have the opportunity to be able to do some SWOT analysis as far as the core organizational concerns. And this concerns maybe in your chapter, maybe at the worldwide image, whether it's inter-chapter, but today I would like you to truly maximize your time here, you're here, in order to talk about the organizational concerns that we have. The organizational leadership, we should be able to understand that. The change management, how we can really change. Change management in the corporate America today is a top issue. Everybody has to do change management due to budgeting, due to recruiting, due to manpower, human capital. Why not us? Why? Because we are we have to be able to understand the big picture in order to really communicate with our youth today. Today. Not yesterday, today. Lack of vision. Truly, where is Homenetmen going? Structure reevaluation. Let's talk about how we can restructure. And all of this should be done in a positive manner, in a constructive manner, not in a negative, because negative, you and I will lose, no matter what. Need assessment. What are our needs today? Truly, what are our needs today? Do we truly address the